Twitch chat Wardog message over. Gonna get this kicked off pretty quickly here because there's a shitload of people in the chat right now. So hello to Ryan, hello to Randolski, hello to Lissa, hello to Buford, howdy. We'll be starting with some Battle Brothers here in a sec. Hopefully this time we won't get fucking wiped. This game is really hard, Lissa. Every time I start, at least every time I start on stream, like my offline streams have done a little bit better. I've managed to get like 60 days into 3 or 4 of them, but the the on-stream ones don't go well. I mean, to be fair, everybody got killed. It's not like it was just you. It's not all about you, Ryan. Everybody died. Let's get the screen up here. Oh, you know what I haven't done? I haven't changed the game cap. There we go. Feel like we should blame Ryan? Yep, we definitely should. And Buford Gator has never been framed. Even when he has been framed, he was probably guilty of the thing he was framed for anyway. So, let's kick off since we've got people in the chat, because we can get some recruits done. We are going to be starting a new campaign, because the last one was trashed. Is there a particular start you guys would like to see? I'll let you guys pick right now, if there is one. Other than rebuilding a company, because it just makes you do missions that I can't be bothered to do. Criminal of the decade. Ryan saying no preference. Lissa saying Beast Slayers. Buford's talking to Lissa. I don't think I've ever done Beast Slayers before. You and your men make a living by hunting down the many beasts that beset villages on the fringes of civilization. It's dangerous work but pays well enough, and there's always a bigger beast to slay and more crowns to earn. Start with 3 Beast Slayers and decent equipment, as well as some beast trophies. See tracks from further away. Each beast you slay has a 50% chance to drop an additional trophy, and most people don't trust your kind, so you get 10% worse prices. Oh good lord, that's gonna be hard if we do that. It's Ryan's spot on, it's about dying horribly. Snowy's in the chat as well. Welcome to the stream, Snowy. Say hi to Snowy, guys. Naturally you are gonna have a big fuck off axe, right? Maybe. We'll see. Yes, quiet phone, thank you. Alright, well, nobody else has put a suggestion in, and I want to move on while we've got you. Oh, Sarah's in the chat and saying cultists. Now we've got a vote on. Cultists are Davkul awaits. You lead a small flock devoted to the Elder God, and it's time to spread the word. Find more followers, acquire riches, and please Davkul with sacrifices. Cultists start with a group of 4 cultists with poor equipment. More cultists may flock to you for free. Sacrifices. Davkul will occasionally demand sacrifices from you, but also bestow boons upon those loyal to him. And Chris is in the chat as well. Holy shit. Chris is saying Lone Wolf. We'll read that one. Chris, welcome to the chat. Sarah, welcome to the chat. Thank you guys very much for turning up. Lone Wolf. You've been travelling alone for a long time, taking part in tourneys and sparring with young nobles. A hedge knight tall as a tree, you never needed anybody for long. Is it true still? Start with a single experienced hedge knight and great equipment but low funds. Can never have more than 12 men in your roster, and if your hedge knight dies, the campaign ends. I have actually tried Lone Wolf on, like, offline. It's tough. But then this whole game is tough, so... Mike's in the chat as well! I can get behind a nice cult. Okay, so Lissa's flipped over to cultists. I think that's 2 for cultists, to be honest. So we may well be going cultists. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes here, see what everybody piles on with, but it's looking like it's going to be the cultists. Ryan screaming trading caravan now. Let's go cultists, but I want to know about Lone Wolf later on today. Alright, we're going to do some cultists then, so everybody's flipping this way. I have never done a cultist start. It may well... Oh, you know, I just realised that there's skulls at the top that probably indicate how hard the campaign is. And apparently the one that we keep getting slaughtered on is supposed to be easy. And cultists is hard. But hey ho. We're going to go with cultists. If this doesn't work, if this ends up killing us really, really quickly, what I will do is we'll start a new one as a new company, because it's the one that I don't want to say the most competent with, but the most familiar with. So we probably have a slightly better chance. So let's do cultists. You know what? We are going to do the same map seed as I've been playing because it helps me to know the map. We'll do a random late game crisis. What do you guys want the company to be called if we're being a cult? Yeah, the one I fucked up the most. Yeah, that's the one. That's what it is, for sure. But you know, that means that I've learned many of the pitfalls in it. Whereas the cultist one, I could like make a terrible decision right out the gate. Because, you know, that's never happened when I've been doing the new company start. Glory Cheese 2, by gum lad. What part of Yorkshire you from? How the fuck? Oh dear. West Yorkshire. Welcome to the stream, Glory Cheese. Guys, say hi to Glory Cheese. Or say A up, because he's clearly either from Yorkshire or knows Yorkshire well. West is best. West is best. You know what? Let's be the cult of cheese in honor of our new person in the chat, Glory Cheese. And you know what? That banner looks perfectly fine to me for a bunch of cultists, so let's do that. We are going to do beginner high funds. We will do Iron Man mode though, because I ain't a bitch. Let's go. The Bleating Goats, that would have been a great name too, but there you go. You can get cheese from goats. The cultists. This. I put the woman and child in the barn, which you have surely already found in ashes. They were knocked unconscious, for he does not seek their pain. Please do not dwell upon their demise. They are with him now, and in their passing I have been freed of all obligations to do what must be done. By now I will be gone. I will have taken up a new role, a new face, and beneath both I will become something I am not. I will pretend. I will act. But in the end it is with one purpose, and you know what that purpose is. I must not name it, but you shall find it in the moments when you realize no one truly believes they are going to die. The purity of one's own annihilation must be clouded by distraction and merriment. Not all can see him, not all should, but see him they will. Be well, strangers that you have become, for Davkul awaits us all. Davkul awaits. Excellent, we just start in the middle of fucking nowhere, apparently. I do know where we are, we're in the top northeast end of the map. Do we start with any of the houses not liking us? No, which is nice. And we start with 4 cultists. We are not going to rename the 4 guys that we start with. But when we start recruiting other people, that will be you guys. So we have Wenzel, who has a Scaramus axe, which is a one-handed cleaver sword. Erling with a two-handed flail. Dietrich, who has got a battle whip with a range of 3 tiles. I've never used a battle whip, so that's a new one for me. But if he's got a range of 3 tiles, I'm going to move him backwards. And then we've got Gebhard, who has a small bludgeon as well. Excellent, right. Ooh, this is like being told a story at bedtime. Well, I'm going to try and read the things, unless it's one we've already seen in like this particular stream, and then I won't bother. But I think the first thing we need to do is head to Sandberg. Cheese is bad for you, don't eat it. What a kinky son of a bitch. Which one's a kinky son of a bitch? So if we go in here, so yeah, we can recruit just normal people, although that's much more expensive than I feel like that fisherman should be. I wonder if there's a price hike for non-cultists. We only have 24 food, so I'm going to buy something. The cheapest that they have here is the fish, so we'll get some dried fish. And we may want to kit out our lads a bit better. I don't normally buy stuff on the other on my offline new company playthroughs, because I usually recruit practically everything with two pairs of legs. Not with 2 pairs of legs, that would be an animal. Everything with 2 legs or a pair of legs and the ability to swing a weapon. I usually hire them. But since we might want to wait until these 3 cultists turn up, so we'll kit some of the lads out here. We've got that chap with the battle whip at the back, who, how good is your ranged? It's not terrible. Yeah, we'll buy him one of them as well. And actually, now that I look at it, we'll buy him the other buckler because he can use it. So, do we have tools? Yes, we have 40 tools. Okay. Right. What's going on? Wensleydale screams cheese for the cheese god. Excellent. Wensleydale? Have we got a guy called... We don't have a guy called Wensleydale. Oh, but we've got Wenzel. Okay, yeah, fuck it. He's now Wensleydale. To be fair, Erling sounds like it could be a cheese as well. Gonna leave the stream up as always and go back to life. Chris, thank you very much for stopping by and for the lurk, mate, and for letting me know. Appreciate that, mate. I must go for class. Bye, everyone. Have a good day night. See you later, Lisa. Thank you for stopping by. Mike's going to be in lurk mode as well because he's at work. No worries, Mike. Alright, let's find... let's take a contract, guys. Let's crack on. Goswin the Younger settles down into his chair, laughing to himself as he does it. Don't be alarmed, Sellsword, but they say ghosts are afoot. Yes, yes, the local peasants are poisoning my mornings with constant talk of ghosts and goblins. They say that these supposed creatures are turning the cemetery upside down, raiding the graves to enlarge their army or some such nonsense. Obviously it's just the work of some spade-wielding men intent on robbing graves for jewellery. I've seen it before. He looks down at his hands, briefly chuckling. Anyway, I can't just let it rest, because these peasants won't get off my back about it. So, to ease them, there's you. I need you to go to the cemetery and clear out any troublemakers you find. How you do that is up to you, but I'll go ahead and suggest a good steal, if you know what I mean. Let's talk money. He gesticulates with his hands, pointing at his fingers as if counting something, but it means nothing to you. Judging from experience, this is a good payment for the task. You'll be paid 70 crowns in advance, and another 270 when the job is done. These missions can sometimes end up with things that are not people. And I'm hesitant because we only have 4 guys. But I guess we've got to start somewhere, right? Although... what if we... let me make the following offer. You'll be paid 130 crowns in advance, and another 180 when the job is done. I think we take that, and if we don't like the look of the job, we just run off with the 130 crowns, because we're cultists, who gives a shit? You're all heading towards E-damnation! Oh my god. Snowy wants pepper jacks cheese. We accept. That doesn't mean we're going to do it, but we accept. Right, where is the... yeah, of course it is. We're not going to be able to tell what it is that's down there, to be honest. But... with 4 chaperoos, I'm not really a big fan of even attempting this, to be honest. The Ancestral Cemetery. Judging by the price, it shouldn't be anything other than men, but there's probably 7 of them, or close to it. There'll be more than 4. That I'm almost certain of. What do we reckon, guys? I'm pretty sure there's going to be more than 4 of them, which means it's going to be a really rough fight, and we will probably die. What do you guys think we should do? Run off with the money, or try and fight whatever's in here? I'm sorry I joined, I didn't mean to hijack the chat topic. No worries, Glory Cheese, man, I'm just happy to see the chat rolling. Try chocolate and cheese at the same time, tastes good together. Glory Cheese with the typical Yorkshire response. Nah, take the money and run. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with Glory Cheese, to be honest. We're just gonna clear off. Run off with the money, I'm not Emmental. Oh my god. Ah, you've opened Pandora's box now, Glory Cheese. Fucking Ryan's off with the puns. That'll be it now for the next 3 hours. Okie doke. We're gonna go down the road here in Fast Clouds County, which is a terrible name for a county. And we'll try and like see if we can find... I mean, we could attack 5 peasants, but I really don't know about upsetting the noble houses. Plus, I don't think peasants have gear, which is what we really want. Let's see if there's anybody we can recruit in Dinklesmark. Well, there's definitely people in here. I almost... Because I'm kind of role-playing this, right? I don't want to hire just, like, random people into a cult. Because it doesn't make sense. But I kind of want to hire this monk. Just to essentially have tricked him into the cult. After raiders murdered his family, Ingmar retreated into the comforts of religion and became a monk at a nearby monastery. Always a fiery man, Ingmar left the safety of the monasteries to go out and right the world. Perhaps with a romantic view of mercenaries in need of good spiritual cleansing, Ingmar seeks to accompany sellswords. Most cults thrive on clouding the judgment and leading astray the impressionable. He does. Sounds perfect. Or sounds naive, which is perfect. Yes, we are going to trick Ingmar into the company. And that means if somebody fancies Ingmar's story, now is the time to tell me you want to sponsor Ingmar the monk. Because he will not be called Ingmar for long. Who's going to step up? Apparently he has a fear of greenskins as well. Does anybody want to be the monk that is being tricked into the cult? Mike! Oh, Sarah was there first. Sarah's going to sponsor him. What are we calling the monk, Sarah? Because I'm assuming you don't want him to be called Ingmar. Oh my god! We will be recruiting more people, just one of you take the fucking monk. No, we're not. Ryan, no. Stop, please. I think he's Sarah's because she said it, or at least it came through on the chat first. Oh my god, right. Okay, Peanut. It's a nickname he got in his childhood, where he was also bald. Okay. Peanut. Excellent. Poor hideously head-shaped Peanut. We are not going to buy him any equipment. He'll have to scavenge it off the battlefield. Let's head down this way. As the company takes a break, you decide to address the men. Brothers, I want everyone to know the Cult of Cheese are not just cutthroats and errand boys, but skilled fighters of the First Order. Are we in Star Wars now? Word of our deeds must spread so that merchants and noblemen are begging us to take their contracts. What do you tell the men the company will set out to do? Forging a bond of friendship seems like a really weird one for a cult to do, so we're going to get the strength back to 12 men. can't believe we've got a cult of cheese. See how many impressionable peasants perhaps live at Weissenbach. Ooh! A cultist! I think we have to take the cultist. So, Markolf the Believer. The man's face is wreathed in garish tattoos. No, it's not. He carries a note. It reads, Fungluiv muflugnaf davkul rileth waga nagl faktan nugnigl ri nugl nuguli sigunval silha epchog. Quaint. I think we're definitely getting him. Ryan's called dibs immediately. Very well, Ryan. What are you calling your cultist who apparently arrived with a knife? Oh my god. Oh no, the tone is set. Monterey Jack the Believer. I'm going to keep his title because he came with it. We can change it later if it seems appropriate. He's got double grip, which means he does 25% extra damage, which is nice. And I think we'll just move on. We'll just keep wandering the lands, seeing if we can acquire cultists. Let's head towards Dolmen. Eventually this contract will default and then we'll take another one and see if we want to do that. We could cancel it now, but I don't really want to do that. What's the furthest you got on this game then? You ever beaten any endgame bosses? I've never even seen an endgame boss, Glory Cheese. I don't even know what an endgame boss looks like. I think the most I've done is like turn 90 something, like day 90 something. Typically on my offline playthroughs I've got to 50 or 60. And on the online playthroughs, I'm lucky if I get through a week. Do we have any other cultists in here? What the hell? Oh, he's a bastard. Why is the symbol for a bastard a dog? I like dogs. I don't like bastards. That makes no sense. Me neither, mate. I keep getting battered, but I'm doing a bit better now. Yeah, I've definitely found Initially, I was getting the absolute shit kicked out of me. Now, at least offline, I can do a little bit better. I've found it's helped me to use the same map seed every time. Because, like, when you first start in this game, there's certain things like towns give better prices based on, like, so Kronenkug down here has militia barracks, which means there's usually better people to recruit. It's got a workshop, which means tools are usually cheap. And then it's got fishing huts and amber collectors and stuff. But, yeah, it's helped me to play the same map seed over and over again, because I now know to get my tools from Kronenkug if I can. I usually try and make friends with Kronenkug because of the tool prices and the recruits. I don't know if it's a good seed, it's just a seed that I know. We need to get out into the world and get that cheddar. For fuck's sake. Fuck's sake. As my nephew would laugh at. For fuck's sake! Ooh. Cultist procession. There's a procession of cultists going through the city. A steady stream of people seemingly manifested themselves out of thin air and now slowly makes its way along the main roads. Clad in muted colours, they ring bells and chant monotonously the name of Davkul. Does that mean... Well, it does not mean that they're recruitable. But now I kind of want to hang around here and see if they join us or something. Oh, I guess what we could do, I don't quite know how this works, but we can cancel this. Cancelling an active contract will adversely affect your reputation as a reliable sword for hire, as well as the relation to your current employer, especially if you received any payment in advance. Are you sure you want to cancel? Yes, because I don't care. And then, maybe if we make this town of people happy, we can get those cultists. Raymond the Guildmaster restlessly walks up and down while stopping now and then to address you. The folks are in turmoil. Graves in the cemetery have been found open and raided. Some simpleton claims it to be the dead rising from the graves. Superstitious nonsense. It's quite obviously some grave robbers audacious enough to come to Cockendorf and plague us with their greedy presence. He bangs his fist on the table in anger. Go out to the cemetery and end this nuisance once and for all. How much? He nods. You look able, so I'm willing to pay quite a bit. You'll be paid 470 crowns when the contract is done. How is Frodo? He's good. He's doing alright. It was nice seeing him when I went home. I learned it's all about killing brigands for like the first 60 days. Yeah, it definitely is, Glory Cheese. Like farming equipment from brigands and stuff is how I've found it to be easier to do. We're going to demand more money. Fine. How about this? You'll be paid 480 crowns when the contract is done. We have 6 guys now, so I'm going to accept. And we're going to go and take a look at it. Payment in advance? Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll go have a look. We don't know what's in there, to be honest. We've got Peanut, who has no weapons. We've got Monterey Jack, who has a knife. And then we've got the lads at the front. What does this actually do? It just does more damage and has a chance to hit the head. Okay. That's going to make them bleed. That's going to be thing. And I've never used a whip before. Oh, I suppose we could give Peanut the staff sling that Dietrich was holding for the time being. Alright, we're going to have a crack at this one. Let's go. Please don't be skeletons. The grave robbers are here, just as promised. You catch them mid-dig, your brothers jumping over tombstones with their weapons raised. To arms! There's 7 of them and 6 of us. That's not a good start. We'll move Peanut up onto the high ground, which gives him a bit of range. 15% chance. No, I'll wait for him. Right, what the fuck does this thing do? Disarm? That's interesting. Inflicts bleeding damage from the whip as well. Alright, let's this is going to be a really tough fight, but if we survive this one, we might be in a better position. Sarah's dropping Fs already. Only one, oh no, two of them have got shields. One of them's got a shield, one of them's got a buckler. We're gonna pop a shield wall with Wensleydale, which will improve his defense. And then I think we're gonna move. I'm gonna move Gebhard one forward. Peanut is probably at risk here. They've almost all got double grip, which is not good. I'm going to try and get rid of this one with the cleaver, because that's going to cause bleeding damage, and I don't want that. I'm going to put Monterey Jack behind Gebhard, because this guy's got pretty decent armor, so I'm going to try and get that off him. Let's use the whip on this thug, I think. That didn't do much. Erling's going to keep the high ground. Alright, here we go. Yep, I figured he'd move up there. Peanut's in trouble. Move Monterey Jack forward. He's going to get a bit of a stab on that guy. That's not good. Oh my god, that guy's movement. Shit. Oh, Jesus! Erling just flailed the shit out of that guy. Alright, stay where you're at for now. Poor Peanut actually cannot do anything right now. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do for sure. I think he just dropped his staff and then picked it up, and that that used up all of his moves. Yes! Get that whip in there! Shit. Shit. Gebhard gonna cave that dude's head in. Which I think was the dude whose armor we wanted, but oh no, that guy moved over here. Oh, poor Peanut. All he can do is try and punch that guy, and he's not done very well at it. Oh, Monterey Jack's taking some spear thrusts there. Gebhard's going to step up and beam that dude in the head. Oh good, he used shield knockback. Oh shit me, that guy's going to get deaded. I don't really want to move Erling over here, because there's going to be a height disadvantage. I kind of want him to keep the height advantage that he's got. But that means he's not going to do anything useful. Wensleydale is probably going to die because he's got bleeding stacked up and he's not got a lot of health left, so I think the best thing we can do with him is try and get some bleeding on that guy. Yep, there goes Wensleydale. Peanut punching at that dude's buckler. Erling's going to keep waiting. Monterey Jack going to stab that guy and then shuffle up. Peanut taking knife attacks. Gebhard gonna get his bludgeon on that guy. Oh, the flail going on him. 37%, 62%. Okay. Get him then. Excellent. Erling doing him in with the two-handed flail. We're going to stay where we're at. Peanut's going to still desperately fighting to fighting to save his own life. Monterey Jack, we're going to try get some punctures in and not damage this guy's armor. Got one in. Gebhard doesn't give a shit about the armor. He's just going to beat him with the bludgeon. Oh, Peanut getting wrecked. 38%, 52%, but I think we need to help Peanut more. Although, oh, he's fleeing actually. Oh, that was a waste. He's trying to run away now, which is why they're getting free hits. Peanut desperately trying to hold on. Erling not coming to help him because he doesn't want to sacrifice this tiny piece of high ground. Monterey Jack failing to puncture a guy who's trying to run away. But doesn't stop Gebhard from just twatting him in the head. Dietrich failing with the whip. Oh, Peanut. Erling still not coming down. Peanut still trying to fight. But now Gebhard's arrived. And he's done fuck all about it. And Monterey Jack's over there as well. Now the guy is breaking. He's not happy. Oh, big whip hit from Dietrich. And he tried to run away and got done in. Wensleydale is actually dead. So that's him done. Erling is a fucking beast. Dietrich is like, you've been a bad boy! We must all rub the lucky Peanut's noggin. Alright, we have managed to get some tasty loot there, including 40 crowns. So that's going to be very helpful. Typically before the game, because it always starts paused after a battle, I immediately go to the inventory and dish out the loot. We've gained a rugged surcoat, which is not better than that cultist's leather robe, actually. But it is far better than the leather wraps that poor Gebhard is wearing, so he's going to be getting a rugged surcoat. And then... well, Gebhard has leveled up, actually, so... he's got a +4 on his health, and a +4 on his fatigue. No, you know what? I don't know if we're going to need the fatigue. He's definitely take the health. And then we'll take the melee skill one and the resolve. And Gebhard is a fanatic of Davkul. He's impatient and he's strong. So we're going to give him crippling strikes, which gives him more chance to inflict injuries. I'm going to move his bludgeon down here. We're going to give him a dagger for if we want to try and salvage armor. We are going to swap his buckler for a proper shield because it's better. And then I think we'll give him a Scarum Sax because it does bleeding. Dietrich. I think we'll keep Dietrich in the back line with the whip right now. Peanut has got a smashed hand, so that's it's a temporary thing, but a hand smashed by blunt force makes it almost impossible to hold on to any kind of weapon. His melee and ranged skills have dropped significantly. I feel like we'll keep him in the back with the staff sling. However, Ryan, Monterey Jack, since he's also a cultist, can take his pick of the equipment that we've got. Nothing's better than his cultist leather robe, and we don't have any other headgear. But weapons-wise, what would you like? You should call him Monterey Jack the Ripper. Maybe we'll get there. I'm not doing it after one fight. Is that axe one-handed or two-handed? It's a one-handed axe. It's a hatchet. Axes are most effective at getting rid of shields, but they still do damage as well. Can I take that and the shield? Of course. So we'll move your knife into your secondary slot so you can switch to it if you want to get past armor. We'll give you the hatchet. If you wanted to, you can also take a sort of secondary weapon. Typically the way that I've been gearing people, if they're a combat guy in the front, I give them a shield, I give them a knife or dagger for getting past armor if we want to farm armor. I will give them, their main weapon is meant to do damage, so usually a spear or a sword or a cleaver, because the spears and swords are the most accurate, the cleavers do bleeding damage. And then in the secondary slot I'll give them something like a flail because it can target the head specifically so it doesn't damage body armor, an axe because it gets rid of shields, or something like that. What buffs do I have? You don't have any. You don't have any special traits. I don't think it was you that had the two-handed buff. Or if it was, it's gone away. No traits. Is the cleaver a good damage dealer? In terms of actual stat damage, the hatchet does do slightly more, but the cleaver typically does that bleeding thing, which does damage over time, whereas like the hatchet doesn't. Most things don't. Cleavers are the only things that do. That's the cleaver's job, is to do bleed damage. So if you were looking to like mix it up, I'd probably put the hatchet in your on your hip and take the cleaver in your hand, because then you can do damage, and if you have to, if you're against somebody with a shield, you can swap to the axe or the hatchet and smash the shit out of the shield. That'd be the way I'd do it, but it's up to you. Did we lose the other cultist's headgear? I guess we did. We can do that then. I can always drop one weapon if we end up with the newcomers needing... Exactly. So we'll move that to there. We'll give you the cleaver. Do you want to move up to the front line, or are you still hanging out in the back? While you decide that, we'll head back to Kochendorf. May as well, since I've got a shield. Okido. We'll push you up in front of Peanut. You find Raymond the Guildmaster nestled into his chair, holding a candlelight close to a well-worn scroll. He talks without looking up. My problem. Did you take care of it? You nod. I wouldn't be standing here if I hadn't. Raymond the Guildmaster tips a hand to the corner of his desk. Your payment. 480 crowns, as agreed upon. Excellent. I'm not sure. This has to be something to do with the cultists, but I don't know how we do it. We're at 24 food though, so we need to buy some more food. We'll pick up some grain. I don't want to be taking a level 2 contract when we've only got 5 chaps, so let's go for a stroll down to Kronenkug. Glory Cheese, Gun of Amos, will tune in next time. Thank you for the follow, Glory Cheese. Welcome to the doghouse. Thank you for stopping by the stream. Hopefully see you soon. And it's night time, so we may as well just camp and wait until daytime. Night time! Daytime! Glory Cheese was my 299th follower. We are one away from being Leonidas, guys. Alright, who have we got in here? Is there any cultists in here? No, there is not. Kinda want to do cultists. But we are going to need more than... oh, you know what? Sarah, I completely forgot. There is still loot here for Peanut. He gets last dibs because he's not a cultist, but I guess if it's just lying on the cart, there's nothing to stop him picking this stuff up. So, do you want any of this stuff? We've got 2 bucklers, a spear, a wooden flail, and a reinforced wooden flail. You're not going to want the tattered robes because it's worse than your monk robes. You want a buckler. Alright, well, you can't use the buckler at the same time as the staff because the staff is a 2-handed weapon. So if I put that there, you can't do that. However, you can have the buckler in your bag should you wish to throw the staff on the floor during the fight. Are you wanting a weapon to go with the buckler? The flail. The spear's not good for a 2nd rank, Ryan, because mechanically it's not a 2-tile range. Pikes and stuff like that are good for 2nd rank. Spears are better for the front rank, to be perfectly honest. The flail, yeah, we'll give you the reinforced flail because it is better than the other one. Tools are probably fairly cheap here. Yeah, we've got shitloads of money, so we're just going to buy those. I actually want to experiment, right? Kronenkug has this thing, the Amber Collector. So I think that means that Amber should be cheaper here because they're getting it here. So I'm going to buy one of these because we've got 1800 crowns. I'm going to buy one of these and hope that we can sell it for good money somewhere else. It cost us 352. I'm experimenting with it, Ryan, because I haven't had a chance to experiment with it. Right, we're going to keep wandering because I think we need to recruit more cultists. We'll head to Neuenried. See if we can find any cultists at Neuenried. No cultists, just a farmer and a day tailor. Used to do it on Mountain Blade 2, find a town that produces stuff, buy their stuff and take it to a town to sell it for profit. Yeah, so did I, which is why I'm... Okay, so we can sell it for 265 here. Oh, that's handy. It actually tells us how much we bought it for. So we don't... That's really handy. I didn't even know that was a thing. Alright, so we can't... Like, it was... If we sold it back to Kronenkug, it would have been 52. So that's a massive jump. So we just need to find somewhere that will pay a bit more, really. I think we're just going to head down the road to Tiefenforst. I'm just going to keep moving around until we can find more cultists. Ooh. Yeah, we definitely do not want to get in a scrap with a Naxxrarir. Tiefenforst. Yeah, I like some of the names on our Sabaton seed. No, there's a butcher, but that's not quite the same thing. What would we be able to sell that for? 215 here. Alright, we will move on to Allersdorf. At early game I used to start small, buying mostly foodstuffs and selling them on smaller but consistent profit before investing in expensive stuff. Yeah, I did too. It doesn't work quite the same way in this game as best as I can tell, but I know trading is viable. No good deal on the amber, a tailor and a miller. Don't think we really want to fight them. You know what? I'm going to have a look at this. A dog is snoring at the feet of Helmer the Burgermeister. He leans forward to gently pet the hound behind its ears. I hear you have a nose for finding people, Sellsword, for solving problems. You nod. It is true after all. Good, good. I have a task for you. A simple one. Something of great value to me has been stolen. My lockbox. I need you to track down those who stole it, kill them, obviously, and then bring it back the item. What's it worth? Yeah, no. What I really wanted was a caravan escort mission or a delivery mission, because they're typically pretty easy to do. We'll move to Goldstein. Do you have camp options? It said cultists will flock to us. Is it a camp mechanic? No. No, I don't think it is. Still not a decent price on the amber. Couple of shepherds to recruit. Torleaf of Goldstein's listening to the talk of a few peasants when you find him. When they see you, they quickly depart, leaving the man with a satchel in hand. He holds it up. There's crowns in here. Crowns that those people are giving me to give someone, anyone, to help us. People are disappearing, Sellsword, and when they are found, they're not just dead, but mangled, mutilated. Everyone is too scared to go anywhere. He stares into the sack, then looks at you. I do hope you are interested in this task. I don't think I am. 530 crowns means it's probably dangerous. No. We will take these jobs later, but with 5 guys... burger joint. With 5 guys it's not worth doing. And I'm not... We can't take missions at Saddleburg because it's a castle. I'm not walking all the way up the edge of the wilderness to Forstburg, so... We will head to Allersdorf and then back up to... I'll probably back down to Neuenried. Oh god, we need to recruit some meat shields. Nighttime. Well, you guys wanted to do a cultist playthrough, and I want to do one authentically. And plus, Ryan and Sarah are the only 2 active people in the chat right now, so there's not really any point in just recruiting people for the sake of it, because they won't end up named. Oscar the Younger restlessly walks back and forth while explaining what troubles him. There has been an audacious act of thievery. The despicable brigands stole my crystal skull, which is of immeasurable value to me. I implore you to hunt down those thieves and return that item to me. He lowers his voice to an insisting tone. Not only will you be paid handsomely, but you would also set the worried minds of the good people of Neuenreed to rest. 320 crowns. No. I'm only reading them because it seems weird to open them and then not read them. But I'm really only looking for 2 types of mission here. Mike's waiting for a cultist to claim. No worries, Mike. But that's, again, I'm not going to recruit like a random farmer if you're waiting on a cultist. Snowy's here. Okay, we might recruit... Snowy, you'll have to keep an eye out then when we arrive in towns if you aren't waiting for a cultist specifically. That's almost enough of a, well, it's almost a profit. Not seeing any cultists here, but plenty of other people. Alright, tell you what. I'm not going to bother reading them if they don't look like what I'm looking for. Grimald the Treasurer is looking at a poorly drawn map, then looks up at you as though you're the one responsible for making it. Look, mercenary, this is a strange thing to task you with, but you seem to have a good head on your shoulders. See this dark spot here? Would you be willing to venture that way and try and find the castle of the Necro-Savant? It's somewhere at or around the region of Greenmere. For the right price, we'll find it. He nods. Yes, good. I was thinking about payment for your task earlier. It's 300 crowns when the contract is done. We need more. Fine, fine. You'll be paid 320 crowns when the contract is done. I accept. Because I forgot about these missions. They typically are fine. To the southwest. So it's somewhere down this... I think I know exactly where it is, actually. Basically, for this mission, all you have to do is find the place he's talking about. So the quicker you find it, essentially, the more profit you make. Because it's costing you less weight. Like, if you piss about for 5 days looking for it... There it is. Now all we have to do to get the money is go back. But if you piss around for too long trying to find it, you waste a lot of money in wages. But if you go straight and find it straight away... My research says we should recruit cheap people so they can be sacrificed and make it less likely to kill our named cultists. Doomsday! Welcome to the stream, mate. You come to Grimald the Treasurer's room, a fresh map in hand. He takes it from you and looks it over. Well then, I'd mind to think this was a spot too easy, but an agreement is an agreement. He hands you a satchel weighed with precisely what is owed. Fantastic. We need food. That'll do nicely. Still not spying any cultists to recruit in here. And you can convert lowborns? Wait, are you actually wikiing shit, Ryan? You looked it up? Oh, I didn't know you could convert them. Okay, that's interesting then. Not a great price on the amber. He's a beast slayer. Nope. Don't want that. Alright, we're going to keep on wandering. I'm guessing converting them is something to do with their happiness or how long they've been with the company. Still not quite enough on that. We need some more food, so let's get some grain. There's lots of big dudes here. Retired soldier and hedge knight, but we're definitely not recruiting them. What is this? I don't think so. What is this? I'm reading this one because I can't just refuse. While your men venture around town, you go to a pub and take a seat. As soon as you do, a strange man joins you. You with the coat of cheese? You nod. The man nods back, then reaches into his pocket. You reach for your dagger. The stranger puts his hand out. Easy there. I'm wearing a sword. If I wanted to kill you, taking a seat probably wouldn't be the best route. The man lifts the sheath and it bumps the underside of the table. He cocks his head as if to say, see? You nod, and then the man continues with his move, taking out a note and passing it to you. A local councilman by the name of Herman the Councillor wishes to see you. Suppose it's a good job he ended up on the council if his name's Herman the Councillor, innit? Be a bit fucking embarrassing if he was a farmer. Herman the Councillor cuts right to the point. I've got a shipment of... well, what it is doesn't concern you. It's going to Skjoldwald, and like many folks, I'm worried about brigands on the road. I need you to watch the caravan to make sure it arrives safe and sound in about 2 days. Does that sound something you'd be interested in? Yes, it does. He gesticulates with his hands, pointing at his fingers as if counting something, but it means nothing to you. Judging from experience, this is good payment for the task. It's 570 crowns when the contract is done. We need to be paid more. Who do you think you are? I tell you how you're getting paid. You'll be paid 570 crowns when the contract is done. We need to be paid per head. No, you are already getting more than you're worth. It's 570 crowns when the contract is done. Fine. The sacrifice event takes place every 2 weeks roughly and will kill 2 members of the party at random, usually the lowest skilled members. The thread encourages having a handful of dum-dums around just for that purpose. Oh, fuck me. Alright, well, at least we know that ahead of time. You know what? These 2 lads that are 90, they're not going to be sponsored because I'm literally recruiting them for that purpose. One of them's a day tailor, which is a guy who is essentially a jobber, and the other one is a refugee, which is a great person to sacrifice as far as I'm concerned. In the setting, Goswin the Derelict and Raymond the Bright. Oh, not for long. See, I knew somebody was going to go, wow. If you're going to be sacrificing people, it might as well be waifs that nobody's going to notice has gone missing. It's all in the roleplay. Oh, shit. I didn't expect to actually have to defend the fucking caravan. Bollocks. Fortunately, we have got a few caravan guards. That terrain is not in our favour, though. Right, lads. Leg it. Let the caravan chaps do some work. There we go, the caravan chaps are coming forward. Go get them, caravan chaps! We'll be right behind you. Well, there's Monterey Jack. Monterey Jack might just have to fall back a step and do a shield wall because there's not really anywhere for him to go. Oh, there's 3 lads coming down that road. See if Peanut can get a 15%. Fucking great job. Oh well, have a crack. Yep, didn't work. Oh, don't die, caravan lads. Oh. Come on, you fucking pikeys. Make an effort. Dietrich's going to try and get up onto this platform with, or plateau with them, this hill. Oh, why, Pikey? What are you doing? Okay. Erling's going to move out to the left side of Monterey Jack. Gebhard is going to make a break for that dude. And then Monterey Jack over here is going to use his cleaver to chop that dude's head off with 2 decapitate strikes. One of the pikeys has stepped forward. Peanut can move up. He's not got a great chance of hitting anybody really. 17%. Oh, Peanut managed to get a strike with his stone. Oh, that pikey is getting shivved up. Erling's turn. We're going to try and... no, we're not. We're just going to do the pound attack with the flail. Oh, Jesus Christ. He just fractured that guy's elbow and stunned him with that hit. Gebhard, with his Scaramus axe, gets a bleed on and a deep face cut. Oh, Jesus, just sliced his face and then completely wrecked him. Dietrich moving up. Well, Pikey finishes off one of the brigands. Peanut's turn. 5%, 5%, 5%. I suppose we might as well have a crack. Hey! Peanut managed to hit one of them. Pikey there getting a good Scaramus axe hit on that brigand. Monterey Jack is stuck behind a pair of the pikeys, so he's going to hop over to there and get a nice hit on that brigand thug, causing a bleed. Dietrich is going to fail with the whip. Erling with the flail. Oh! Stays the dude in. He's trying to run away, just got clubbed to death by Rob Duggan. Ayo! I think, yeah, there's 2 of them left, but they're both trying to flee at this point. So actually, what we want to try and do is get behind them and stop them running away. So Peanut and Monterey Jack can cut off their escape down that road. Run them down, duh. And once he's boxed in, which he is now, there's nowhere for him to go. Peanut gets a strike and crushes a finger with that stone. And I think we're going to switch Monterey Jack over to his knife. Although there's not a lot of point, but... There we go. Erling does him in with the flail. 4 levels up. Only Gebhard didn't. And we've got a few tools. 89 crowns. A new buckler. Some clubs. A sword. And a 2-handed woodcutter's axe. Athena calls for blood. Welcome to the stream, Sahara. The great cheese wheel shall be washed in blood this night. Knife and cleaver. Monterey Jack the Ripper feels appropriate. Alright. I guess it does. Oh, hold up. Yeah, Ryan. These are your stat boost numbers. Have a quick look at them. I was going to try and change your name and then come back to it, but I might as well just wait. What would you like to level up here? On Monterey Jack the Ripper. I caved and ordered that HDMI cable. I must game tomorrow. Oh dear. Health, the blue thing, and melee skill, is it? The third one down on the right. Third one down is this is melee defense, this is range defense. That's melee skill, that's ranged skill. Health, fatigue, resolve, initiative. Initiative is obviously who goes when. Resolve is your morale, so how much your guy's going to stand and fight. Health is obvious. Fatigue is if you're planning on having somebody that's going to end up wearing a lot of armor. Like, so this here has a maximum fatigue of -9. You have a maximum fatigue of 65. If we took that off, right, you would get 9 back, essentially. So it lowers your maximum, the stuff you're wearing. And the fatigue, the way it works is, essentially it inevitably builds up every round, like bit by bit, till eventually you will only be able to take 1 action instead of 2, because you're so fatigued. So if you're planning on wearing a lot of armor that really lowers your fatigue, you need to boost it up in a counterbalance kind of thing. Health, fatigue, and defense then. Health, fatigue, and melee defense. And I'm just going to organize that. Which perk would you like? You've got fast adaptation, which increases your chances to hit after misses. Crippling strikes, which lowers the threshold for inflicting injuries. Colossus, which improves your hit points. 9 lives, which basically means any killing blow against you once in a battle doesn't kill you, but it does leave you with very little health. Bags and belts, which gives you 2 more belt slots down here in case you can't decide what you want to carry to battle. Pathfinder, which makes moving across like uneven terrain, like when you're going up and down levels, it lowers the amount of action points required, so you can essentially move further on rough terrain. Adrenaline, which is a skill that puts you first in the initiative order next round. Recover, which I've never used, but apparently you rest for a turn and you reduce your accumulated fatigue by half. And Student, which gives you 20% extra experience from battle. Lighter clothes will improve fatigue issues. That's what it is. Not necessarily less. But if you're walking around in big heavy plate armor, it makes sense that it's harder to move than if you're wearing cloth. My phone keeps disconnecting me from the chat. If I miss messages, guys, I do apologize, which I have missed some messages. The increase to hit chance on missed attack, so fast adaptation. Done. Right. Erling. You, my friend, are clearly a person... Oh, +5 on initiative. I typically take this if it's a +5, just because it's the best roll you can get. I'm going to give him a +4 to his resolve. Do I do it in hit points or do I give him a +4 to his ranged skill? Not that he's using his ranged skill right now, but we'll give him hit points. Still early in the game. He's loyal, he's a fanatic of Davkul. I'm going to give him crippling strikes just because I feel like a fanatic of Davkul would want to hurt people. Dietrich! Also +5 on initiative. +4 for his resolve. And then we'll take the +4 on his ranged skill. If you've got stars, by the way, on these, like this melee skill has 2 stars, that means the minimum roll he can get is a 2? I guess the minimum roll he can get is a 3, sorry, because you can't, I've never seen a 0. So you must get +1 at least. And then if you have 2 stars, you get 2 more. So that is a minimal roll. But this, he's only guaranteed to get a +2, so he's actually got 2 higher than he normally would get, so I'm going to take that. He's a fanatic of Davkul as well, so I'm just going to give him crippling strikes too. And then Sarah! Peanut has leveled up. He actually looks like Peanut from Jeff Dunham's Puppets as well. So Peanut has the following roles. Yeah, if he was purple he would be, wouldn't he? Initiative. Okie doke. To be honest, you have 3 stars in initiative, so like the minimum that you're gonna get is probably a +4. So the reason I usually take a +5 in initiative is because initiative is a skill that it's handy to boost up, but I've never really felt like it was super important, so I only buff it up by a +5 if I get it. But with 3 stars in initiative, you might not want to apply the same logic, because you're going to get a +4 or a +5 every single level up in there. He looks like a combination of Peanut and Walter. Ranged skill, I'm assuming is what you mean, because you got a +4. And then you have 1 more. Health. Okay. You sure those are the ones you want to go with? +5 to initiative, +4 to ranged skill, +3 to health. Sure. Okay. Done. And then you need a perk. I'll fly through them again if you need me to, but it narrows fly, please. Okay, so you got one that if you miss, it increases your chance to hit next time by 8%. Crippling strikes, which makes it easier for you to injure people. Colossus, which improves your hit points by 25%. 9 lives, which means if you get a killing blow, you essentially survive with like a couple of HP left, but then obviously you can still be killed after that. Bags and belts, which gives you 2 extra slots down here. Pathfinder, that makes moving over rough terrain easier. Adrenaline, that puts you first in the turn order for the next round. Recover, that reduces your accumulated fatigue by half once every battle. And Student, which increases your, essentially like makes it, you gain 20% extra experience from battle. So if you're ever going to take Student, you should take it on the first one, because it's going to make you reach the later levels quicker. If you took it on like your last level, it'd be pointless. Student. Okay. Typically I roleplay monks as having Student on their first level as well. Right. We did gain some loot, but it doesn't drastically change what we've got. We've got a 2-handed axe. we've got a short sword, which no one's really using a sword, that's a Scaramus axe. I might actually give Dietrich the short sword just in case somebody gets inside of his whip. Alrighty. We'll proceed on. We're going all the way up there. And we're all good, so if we do run into another fight, we're okay. Passing through some wilderness. Skjoldwald. You've made it, having delivered the caravan just as you'd promised Herman the councillor you would. The caravan leader thanks you with a payment of crowns. He seems rather thankful for the fact that he's alive, briefly regaling you with a tale of when he barely escaped an ambush by brigands. You nod as if you give two shits about what happened to this man. Excellent. I don't think we can take missions from here because it's a castle, but we can see who's recruitable. A farmer and a day tailor, don't care. We wouldn't make a profit on that, but hello! Tools are really cheap here. Alright, fuck it. We're buying some more tools. Heyo! Richter's in the chat. How you doing, Dylan? Welcome to the stream. Right, let's head back to Andy Sandberg. I have to call it that. I can't help it. Do. Right. Still no cultists to recruit. Ooh, we would not make any profit on selling amber up here. But apparently amber's cheaper to buy here than it was in Kronenkrug. Do they have a amber thingy? Yes, they do. That's it. Yeah, okay. In that case, let's snatch up some cheaper amber. What's this? Some of Sandberg's ragged militia give you the side eye as you enter the town. One spits and yells out, "Niels of Sandberg's looking for you, sellsword!" His voice trails off into what you thought sounded like obscenities. Yep, we'll take this. Niels of Sandberg grabs a chest off his shelf and puts it on his desk. When he opens it, a bevy of papers pop out, almost scurrying to get free. He grabs one and lays it out. On one side there's a contract, and the other a small drawing of a map. It's real simple, sellsword. I've been contracted to deliver some particular cargo to Allersdorf. I have the goods, but I don't have the guards. If you're interested in being caravan guards for a time, maybe 4 days or so, let me know and we can hash out some numbers. How many? He nods. Yes, good. I was thinking about payment for your task earlier. You'll get 240 crowns in advance and another 960 when the job is done. We need more. I don't think you quite understand how this works. We need to come to terms if you want to be paid for this. My offer still stands. You'll be paid 240 crowns in advance and another 960 when the job is done. We need to be paid per head? Oh, balls. I've had enough of this. I'm sure I'll find someone else to do the job. Oops. I've never had that happen to me before. waiting for a decent person to show up to grab Snowy. Makes sense. Alright, well, I actually didn't realise that that was possible. Otherwise I might not have pushed it. Oh well, on to Hochenau. Still no cultists to recruit. Not quite making a profit there. What's this mission? Nope, I don't care about finding your shitty relic. Down to Dinkle's Mark. The more you know, exactly, Snowy. We will take the shitty relic missions and stuff, guys, but only when we've got a company that I think will survive doing the mission. Which is what I found in my offline playthroughs, is probably what's keeping me alive longer than the online playthroughs. Yeah, no, fuck that. Hello. Do you guys have any cultists going spare? You do! You have Oswald! I'm not going to read the cultist thing every single time because it's gibberish. But we have another cultist and we're definitely hiring him. Who's claiming the new cultist? Mike calls dibs. Alright, Mike, your cultist is currently wearing monk's robe and has a dagger. What would you like to call him? Mike Hawk. Excellent. I see what path we're going down. And what kit would you like Mike Hawk to have? Ha ha ha. Apparently he has eagle eyes, not hawk eyes, which means he's got slightly better vision, and he's got double grip, which means he does do 25% extra damage. And because you're a cultist, I'll let you just pick kit from the pool. You don't have to earn it like poor Peanut does. So we've got a buckler if you wanted it. We've got the two-handed axe. We've got a spear. We've got wooden clubs and a wooden flail. And you have your dagger. There is a spear. You have a spear. Would you... I'll take a spear and a dagger. Do you want a buckler to help defend yourself? Or are you just going balls to the wall with the spear? Yes to the buckler or yes to balls to the wall? To the buckler. Very well. You're currently in the back line, Mike, behind Gebhard. Let me know if you want to move to the front or stay where you're at. But while you're deciding, we will move on. We still have plenty of food. Excellent. Okay. You step into Herman the Councillor's room and he shoves a map into your face. Alright, this might seem strange, but I need a place by the name of the Occupied Hovel located and charted. Our maps are incomplete in regards to this spot, which at the very least I believe is at or near the region of Durham to the southeast of here. Go find it and come back with the coordinates and you will be properly rewarded. Number 1, I don't think they had coordinates in this kind of time, and number 2, if the hovel is fucking occupied, just ask the people who live there, you massive plank. He opens the palm of his hands. I'm tight on crowns, so before you ask, this is all I have right now. You'll get 310 crowns when the contract is done. I'm just going to take it because that sounds like a warning that if you piss about he's going to throw you out. Okay, it is to the southeast. So typically what I've found with these is ignore the region, right? Because Durham is down here, which is to the south, right? My guess is it's southeast of the town, and this is all part of Durham. So I'm going to go straight southeast and see if we find it. Along the road. While on the march, you come across a line of stopped wagons. You realise the wagons are cages, with each serving a prison to a wild animal. Touring the line of carts, you come to face a variety of beasts. A haunched and mewling black cat launches its man-killer claws through the bars. Jumping away, you back into another cage, which violently rattles with a bear's roaring. Thankfully, its powerful paws are too fat to fit between the bars. Another cage sizzles with the hissing of snakes. A man leans back from behind one of the wagons. He's got a wild look on his face as though you'd just caught him getting one off the wrist. Hey! Who are you? What are you doing here? You inform the stranger that you are the captain of the Cult of Cheese. The man straightens up. Oh, sellswords then. And I thought my luck had up and run off on me. Look, I got a problem that my hired hands refused to help with. They didn't care when they didn't know better, but the damn cloak fell off the wagon, and then they just wouldn't shut up about how I wasn't paying them enough to transport such goods. What do you need help with? The animal tamer leads you to a carriage. You immediately see why his hired hands quit. A frenzied and mercurial wild man is sitting inside the cage. Raw wrists bleed against his shackles, signs of attempted escapes. Half-starved, the wild man gnaws on sticks poking out from a tumbleweed of a beard. Seeing this sad sight, you grab the stranger by his shirt and slam him against the wagon. Does that look like an animal to you? The animal tamer grins, ivory for teeth. He explains himself. City folk have gotten wind of the uncivilized wild men and wish to see them up close. I am only fulfilling this new demand, as any businessman would. Now, all I need help with is to get that dead body out of the cage. He points towards a corpse in the corner of the cage. The wild man rears back, snarling, and goes to protectively sit on the body. The animal tamer shakes his head. One of my helpers got too close and, well, yeah. I can't go into town with that mess in there, so I thought maybe you could help me fish it out. I'll pay plenty, of course. A pouch of 250 crowns sound good to you? Just reach on in there and yank that garbage out. Oh dear. I always pick dual weapons, usually a knife and a sword. What, in this game? You don't play this game. I can stay for now. Tut tut, monk is very disturbed. Alright, he's your monk, I'll say it. Peanut the monk steps forward, hands clasped, head borrowed forward. The embodiment of a sermon, the posture of good morals, or misguided ones. He pulls the tamer aside. The old gods would frown upon what you have done here. The animal tamer laughs and leans against the cage, smugly crossing his arms. He states that the old gods consider slavery a part of the natural order. The monk continues. True, and it is by their grace that we are to make good use of our slaves. But this wild man is not kin to our way of life. You wish to enslave him by means of being an outsider. He does not understand the relationship which makes it especially grievous and improper. My suggestion is to have him work for you and learn from you. Make him a friend, and you will have a friend for life. The imprisoned wild man's hands dart through the bars and digs his fingers into his eyeballs. His face is ripped apart like a loaf of old bread. A couple of coat hangers for a jawbone, a tongue lolling like an uprooted snake. Peanut vomits as his face is doused in blood. Gebhard shakes his head. I'd say he's fit right in with the Cult of Cheese. Absolutely disgusting. He's perfect. An outstanding capacity for violence is well suited to a mercenary band. You agreed to take the imprisoned wild man on. Welcome to the company. Well, the animal tamer is gone, and with him there's no one left to take care of the beasts. Mike Hawk comes up and asks what should be done with them. Fuck it, let them out. You feel it just wouldn't be right to leave them out here to starve to death, and a caged creature no doubt has gamey meat when it comes to harvesting. You decide to let them on out of their cages. Most of these strange creatures make a beeline for the tree line. But two remain behind, a husky dog and a hooded falcon, both seeming to looking for a master. You gain Duke the War Dog and a falcon. Holy shit! We just gained a wild man, a falcon and a dog. Can you have the wild man, Snowy? Yes you can. What would you like to call him? I think we should keep the title the animal, but what would you like his name to be? I've never even had a falcon in this game before. I don't know what the falcon does. You want his name to be Cal? Cal the wild... well, Cal the animal, rather. Can I have the falcon if our characters can have pets? Can be released in battle to discover hidden prey. Yeah, why not? Mike has a falcon. And we also have Duke the War Dog. Called the dog Cerberus. I don't think you can rename the animals. So he's called Duke. Can I have the doggo? No you can't, Peanut. Shut up. You're not a cultist. I think we're going to give the dog to Dietrich because I fucking love the idea of some geezer that doesn't wear a shirt, wears a hood, uses a whip and has a fucking dog. Like, this dude is big. Oh god. You know what? For the memes. I mean, at this point, the man is just a meme, so why not? Dietrich is now the Kink Lord. He has all of the kinks. Snowy, Cal the animal actually has a level up to start with. So where would you like to invest your points? Oh, that just sucks. Why am I by myself? We'll move you into the formation when you've leveled up. Where would you like to put your points? Health, melee, and defense. Health? And I'm assuming... wait. Health, melee, and defense. That's not how it works. You have melee skill, ranged skill, melee defense, and ranged defense. So you're going to have to clarify. I think Cal the animal needs to be on the front lines. I've already got an idea for Cal the animal, Mike. Because he's not a cultist, so he doesn't get to choose everything. So I'm thinking we're just going to shove that two-handed axe in his hands and fucking let him at him. Melee defense. Okie doke. Give you a +2 to melee defense, and you still have 1 point left. Where would you like your last point to go, Snowy? Well, your last level up, because the points are determined by the rolls. A la on the side. The one under fatigue. Resolve, so like your morale. Okie doke. And then you need to choose a perk. I'll shoot through them real quick. You got the one that makes it gives you an 8% increased chance to hit if you've missed. Crippling Strike, which means you hurt people more, basically. Colossus, which means you have more health. 9 lives, which means you can survive 1 killing blow. Bags and Belts, which gives you 2 extra slots down here. Pathfinder, so you can move over rough terrain. Adrenaline, which puts you first in the turn order next round. Recover, which reduces accumulated fatigue. And Student, which increases your experience gain from battle by 20%. I should also tell you that you are tough, apparently. So you have plus 10 hit points from that trait. Wait, do backgrounds actually have an effect? Some of them do, apparently. Because you're a wild man, you gain less experience. That's interesting. Crippling Strikes. Good choice. And because you're not a cultist, you're not going to choose your equipment. We're just going to give you the big woodman's axe. And, yeah, we'll keep you on the left flank, I think, to chop people up. Got a dash, please take care of Little Peanut. I'll try, Sarah, but I'm not promising anything. This is Battle Brothers. People die all the time. And, you know, Peanut's a bald monk with a sling in a cult. I don't think he's going to survive that long, to be fair. But thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Right. Cool. Let's continue. Where the feck are we? Oh yeah, we're going down towards Weissenbach, aren't we? Oh no, we're not. We're trying to find the occupied hovel. I wanted the two-handed axe anyways. Good. It is a good weapon. It's what I typically go for in Randolphi's streams. Oh no. I wanted to find this hovel, like, quickly, so that we don't have to muck about. Where's the hovel? There it is. That's almost south rather than southeast. Let's get back to Dinkle's Mark. You report to Herman the Councillor, telling him of occupied hovel's location. He nods and scribbles, copying the notes from your map. Curious, you ask how he knows you're not lying. The man sits down in a chair and leans back, clasping his hands over his belly. I invested in a tracker who kept close to your company. He made it here before you did, and you've but confirmed what I already know. Hope you don't mind the measures taken. Nodding, you think it a wise move to take your pay and go. Very well. No cultists for hire. We're still good for food. Hey! You find Oscar the Treasurer closing a box up. He quickly glances up as though he's been caught with his pants downs. Sellsword! Thank you for coming. He locks the latches with a few quick snaps and then he pats the crate a few more times. He even leans on it as though it needed one more fat latch. This here cargo has to be delivered safely to Neuenried. A man by the name of Oscar the Younger is waiting for it. I do not believe the task will be easy, as the cargo is rather precious to certain people who'd go to great lengths to acquire it, which is why I'm turning to a man of your experiences. Are you interested in doing this for me? Let's talk money. He takes a deep breath. Very well, this is what I'm prepared to offer you. You'll get 550 crowns when the contract is done. You know what? I'm just going to accept. Because it's the kind of mission we do want to be taking. And then we're going to get on the road to Neuenried. On the road again. I can't wait to get on the road again. Yep, I thought we'd do that. I'm going to slow the speed down because it's night time and we're crossing rough terrain, and if something comes at us I want to be able to react in time. Like whatever's making all of these tracks. But we should be good. Finally, you've made it! Oscar the Younger is standing there in the middle of the road, his hands clasped over his stomach, a slick grin on his cheeky face. Sellsword! I was not sure you'd make it! You lug the cargo up and hand it over. Oh yeah? And why do you say that? The man takes the box and hands it off to a robed man who quickly hurries away with it tucked under an arm. Oscar the Younger laughs as he hands you a satchel of crowns. The roads are rough these days, are they not? You understand he's making small talk, anything to get your attention off the cargo you just handed over. Whatever, you got your pay, and that's good enough for you. Yes, it is. We need food, so let's pick up some grain. We're making a very, very small profit on that amber, but I'm gonna do it. And no cultists available to recruit, which sucks. And I'm not taking a level 3 mission right now. Don't even care what kind of mission it is. Who likes us? Does anybody like us? Dinklesmark is the one that likes us the most, but not really. Let's head to Kronenkug. Wonderful, wonderful Kronenkug, friendly old girl of a town. Sorry guys, you choose to be here. I'm not responsible for what's inflicted on you. Cultists? Cultists? Please? Please, cultist. Oh. Oh, there's a cripple there for 70 gold. We might, or 70 crowns. We might as well hire him just to kill him at some point. Come here, fodder cripple. You don't need that knife. Food is good. Tools are good. Yay! Another cargo delivery. Hans, the councilman, shoves a sizable crate into your hands before he or you even says a word. Look at that! The cargo I need delivering has already found someone to ship it off. What wonder! He drops the theatrics. I need that taken to Dinklesmark, where a man by the name of Oscar the Treasurer is waiting for it. It may look small, but I'm willing to pay good crowns to be sure it gets there safe and sound. You interested, or is it a little too heavy for your arms? Let's talk money. Rest assured that what I'm offering you now is a fine prize for your work. You are to receive 110 crowns in advance and another 430 when the job is done. Fine. I'm not going to barter with him right now, because I feel like we've upset a few people with bartering. So I guess we're going back to see Oscar the Treasurer again. Blood for the cheese god! Blood for the cheese god. Cheese for the wine god. Wine for the cracker god. I feel the warp overtaking me. It is a good pain. You know what? While we're passing through, I'm going to check who's recruitable in these places and what the amber price is. That's almost profit. Got any cultists? No. What's that? A raider. Interesting. Onwards, mighty steed. my wild man just wreck people in a fight? Probably will. We need to buy food here. Hello, we would like food, thank you all. And what useless waifs do you... Cultist! Friedrich! Right, who's waiting for a cultist here, guys? You don't want to give wine to wine god, bad move. I feel the rap grating me. It is a good dish. What are you talking about? That's just complete gibberish. Alright, we're going to be recruiting this new cultist, guys. Because he's a cultist. Who hasn't got somebody? Ryan's got somebody, Snowy's got somebody, Mike's got somebody, Sarah's got somebody. Sahara, you don't have anybody yet. Would you like a cultist? I'll take a... Wait, Mike, you have somebody, don't you? You've got Mike Hawk. Oh, you mean you're going to move up to a frontline position? Okay. I'll move you on to Gebhard's right then. In fact, no I won't. I'm going to swap you and Gebhard so that you're there. Because the spear has an ability that I'll show you. I feel the warp even. Sahara's going to take somebody. Okay, what do you want to call your cultist, Sahara? You're coming in with a cultist's leather robe, which is nice. Do they have a negative? Nope, they don't. Apparently your character is a Spartan, so they don't need, not a Spartan as in from Sparta, they're Spartan as in they get by on very little, like oatmeal and water, and they have double grip, which means they do extra damage. But what would you like to call them? Fred. Okay. Fred the cultist. You have a dagger, but feel free to take your pick from the limited stock of sticks, flails, and bucklers that we have. You don't want the knife because it's just a worse version of the dagger that you've got. You got wooden sticks, a wooden flail. There's a buckler there that you could use if you wanted, which is a small shield. I'll take the flail. Okay, I'll move the dagger to your belt. We'll put the flail in your hand. Do you want to take the buckler as well? Or are you happy to just be flailing the flail? Can I choose a title yet? I don't think you've particularly earned a title yet, have you? You've been with the company for 3 days, and you like already claimed the hawk. Or the falcon, and now you're like, I would like to be known as Mike the Ever-Titled. Wait your turn, pal. In fact, you just earned yourself a title. You are now Mike Hawk the Title Mad. Can I butcher him and steal his bird? Well, I mean, if he gets killed in the sacrifice and his bird gets put back in the inventory, yes. I'm happy to flail, okay? Where would you like to be in the kind of, the company structure here, Sahara? Do you want to be on the front line, on the left or the right, or in the back line? It might go with him. Better hope he doesn't get sacrificed then. But that's why we've got these useless waifs, so hopefully it will be them that dies. wherever I'm needed. Okay, we'll put you... I'm going to put you in the back row, but on Cal the Animal's flank, so you can hopefully help protect him, since he doesn't have a shield. And then we need to leave. And Dinkle's mark! Fucking Monterey Jack the Ripper and fucking Mike Hawk the title man. Oscar the Treasurer is waiting for you as you enter the town. He hurriedly takes the cargo off your hands. Oh, I did not think you would get here. His grubby fingers dance along the chest carrying the cargo. He turns around and barks an order to one of his men. They step forward and hand you a satchel of crowns. Crowns well deserved. What is the mission in here? No, I don't want to track down you shitty thieves. Although saying that, we are starting to get... We've got an 8-man battlefield roster, which maybe we should start taking some of those. To be fair, I think Monterey Jack sounds like an awesome name. It does. I love that he's called Monterey Jack the Ripper. But, like, we have become, like, a fucking... to be fair, I'm fine with it because it's the cultist playthrough. We've got Cal the Animal, Monterey Jack... Why? Oh, wait, I didn't change that. Well, that's getting changed. We've got Cal the Animal, Monterey Jack the Ripper, Erling, Mike Hawk the Title Mad, Gebhard, Fred, Peanut, and Dietrich the Kinklord. I mean, come on. Clearly these people are crazy. You named it the Cult of Cheese. Yeah, that's true. What are we doing? I guess we should, well, what's nearest? Let's head to Grunfrost and see if there's a mission there that we can do. You started this mess. I didn't start anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Hello, Grunfrost. Or Grunforst, rather. Let's first of all check. They have a wild man that we can't afford. They don't buy amber for enough money for us to be worth it. Hilderic the Guildmaster is looking at a poorly drawn map, then looks up at you as though you're the one responsible for making it. I'm not reading this again because we've already read it today. What does it pay? So, payment. You'll be paid 60 crowns in advance and another 230 when the job is done. We need more. Reasonable. You are to receive 60 crowns in advance and another 250 when the job is done. Okay. Let's go find this bloke's missing thing. House. Whatever. Find the Crypt of the Elder around the Brittle Branch Woods to the southwest. It's gonna be in the middle of the woods somewhere, isn't it? No. Hello. Go into the woods, please. During camp, Mike Hawk, the title mad, comes to you and slams a spoon on your desk. There's something on the spoon, but what exactly you can't tell. The mercenary leans back, thumbs jacked into his belt line, his chest growing with breath. Then he sighs, for he knows not to behave in such ill manner in your presence. But he does explain himself. Sir, the men are complaining about the food. I think it'd be great for company morale if perhaps we picked up some meats and other goods in the next town. Only a suggestion, of course. He quickly leaves. You pick up the spoon and look at whatever is in the scoop of it. That can't really be what they're eating out here, can it? Perhaps some variety wouldn't hurt. I have never, ever, ever had this event pop up. So this is basically because we've been eating grain the entire time, but I've never had a company complain about eating grain the entire time until you lot. Well, they ain't getting cake. You can call him Sahara if you want, it's your character. Alright, we found it. let's head back. Get us some fucking cheese! You come to Hilderic the Guildmaster's room, a fresh map in hand. He takes it from you and looks it over. Well then, I'd mind to think this was a spot too easy, but an agreement is an agreement. We've read that before. Alright, let's get something a little more varied. Here you go. Have some berries, motherfuckers. And shut up. It's a fucking cult, for Christ's sake, not a hotel. I want some meat. I want some meat! We can't pick up missions in Forstburg, so we might as well head back towards Dinklesmark again. I want wine and cheese. You guys are the whiniest fucking cultists I've ever seen. And I've seen lots of cultists. Hello, Dinklesmark! It is us, again. Do you have anything interesting? No, you don't. For recruiting, we don't need food. Alright. Along the road to Weissenbach. BRB getting food and switching over to the computer. No worries, Snowy. Weissenbach! We have arrived! No. Hello? How much do you pay for these things? Not enough. What is your mission? You sit alone, studying a map as a stiff breeze tries to take off with it. As you struggle to keep the sheet on the table, Peanut, one of your men, approaches and slams a mug on the paper's corner. You look up to see he's a bit slack-jawed with drink on his breath. He explains that he shared stories with a local by the name of Gebhard the Treasurer, who has a proposal for you. The maps and the lands they detail aren't going anywhere, so you agree to meet with him and hear him out. You look out Gebhard the Treasurer's window and watch men load a few wagons with goods. Gebhard the Treasurer joins you, 2 goblets of wine in hand. You take one and drink it all in one swig. The man stares at you. That wasn't cheap. You're supposed to enjoy it. You shrug. Sorry. Can I have another to get it right? Gebhard the Treasurer turns around and goes to his desk. So, I need a caravan guarded to Grunforst. It's a day to the northwest of here. Pretty simple, right? There's plenty of crowns in it for you if you're interested. Let's talk money. He takes a deep breath. Very well, this is what I'm prepared to offer you. You'll be paid 4 crowns per head you arrive with, and I'll pay for up to 15 heads, and another 220 when the job is done. We need more money. Let me make the following offer. It's 4 crowns per head you arrive with, and I'll pay for up to 15 heads, and another 230 when the job is done. Fine. Away we go! Shush, or we'll sacrifice you to the moon goddess. We worship cheese, not the moon. Unless, oh god, we believe the moon is a giant wheel of cheese, don't we? That's where we're at. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Do 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 do. The moon is made of cheese, you ignorant fool. Ignorant fool. Ooh! Davkul's presence arrived during a campfire. The rest of the men faded into the aether of infinite black, and a strange entity replaced them. An entity which you could not see, but whose presence was but a penumbra of crossing shadows. It requested a sacrifice, not by speaking to you, but by showing. Mike Hawk the Title-Mad and Raymond the Bright. First one melted away before revivifying, then the other repeated the process until both existed with their hands out and eyes closed. It was clear that Davkul was trusting you with a choice. When the shadows snapped away, the campfire was blinding. Mike Hawk the Title Mad and Raymond the Bright were staring at you. Is all alright, sir? Well, it's a good job we bought the fodder, I guess, because otherwise Mike could be going to see Davkul, but as much as he pissed me off with his "we want some meat," Raymond is intended as a sacrifice, so goodbye, Raymond the Bright. A long stick is pierced through Raymond the Bright from posterior to out the side of his neck. He is tilted up into the sky and held there by one man, while others use long spears to stab him through until his corpse is the apex of an uncovered tent. The conical corpse is then covered with grass and mud until there stands a teepee, a torso and head of Raymond the Bright, all that remains above. And you should enter the tent. And should you enter the tent, you would find his legs dangling from its ceiling. The monument should stand as an omen for those to come, and a sign that they should come to accept that which awaits us all. Okay, Raymond is dead. Gebhard is now a zealot of Davkul. Monterey Jack the Ripper is now a fanatic of Davkul. Mike Hawk the Title Mad is now a fanatic of Davkul. Fred is now a fanatic of Davkul. Cal the Animal gets angry. Heinrich the Grotesque gets angry. Goswin the Derelict gets angry. Peanut gets angry. Oh dear. Grunforst greets you with a swarm of daytailers looking for work. The caravan leader doles out crowns to men here and there, their grubby hands going to the carts to unload the cargo. When he's finished with the throngs of men, the leader turns to you. He's got a satchel in hand. And this is for you, mercenary. You take it. A few of the daytailers watch the exchange of monies like cats would a dangling mouse. Cal is always angry. Yeah, I think we might be about to lose Peanut, Cal, and our other two sacrifices. To be fair, it seems like anybody who's not a cultist gets extremely upset when you sacrifice anyone else, which I guess makes sense. It would be, well, I have a plan, but I don't know if said plan will work. You do not know if it was the low pay, the threat of dismemberment, the forced marches in icy rain, the foul language and coarse food, the abuse at the hands of his brothers, the small children throwing stones, the cold wind, or the sleepless nights, but Peanut has grown more and more unhappy this last while, until apparently he gave up on the mercenary life altogether. Don't know what he has to complain about, everything seems right normal to me, Dietrich the Kinklord says when hearing about the whole thing. Peanut has chosen the open road over the cult of cheese. At least he had the decency to tell you in person that he decided to leave. Although thinking about it, perhaps it was just to collect his remaining pay in person. Peanut has run away. Now, there's not even a tavern here, so I can't buy the men things that will make them happy. I could have. I was going to try and buy like a round of beer to try and please them, but my guess is the other ones are going to disappear as we try and move to Dinklesmark, which has got a tavern. When we get there, we'll try and buy a round of booze and please the ones that are left. But there goes Cal the Animal. It's the same text, so we're going to just let him go. And I'm guessing that we're going to lose the two sacrifices as well. So really all we need is one low-level sacrifice at a time, and then everybody else should be cultists. Heinrich the Grotesque leaves. Come on, get to Dinklesmark, goddammit. Right, tavern. Buy a round of stuff for the men. It didn't please Goswin. Goswin gets disgruntled. However, I got drunk with the company. Maybe getting him drunk was enough to convince him to stay. He, rather naively, will be our sacrifice. Yes, indeed, Cal has gone. I liked him too, but we've learned a lesson now. To only have one non-cultist at a time. So I'm glad that I was role-playing that we're only taking cultists, because we could have lost a shit ton of men there that we'd paid a load of money for. You know what? It's expensive, but in celebration of our sacrifice of Raymond the Bright, and to treat the men who have remained loyal, we'll buy some goat cheese. We will celebrate sacrifice with cheese. Which seems like the right choice to me. What is this? Excellent. Liebwin the Younger's men are standing around a bit of cargo. Their employer shoos them away when he sees you. Welcome, welcome, good seeing you. I am in need of armed guards to have this here package delivered to a man by the name of Alvar the Counsellor in Cockendorf. I reckon it's about a day of travel for a company as yours. How interested would you be in doing that for me? He takes a deep breath. Very well, this is what I'm prepared to offer you. You'll be paid 480 crowns when the contract is done. We need more. We're all friends here, aren't we? Let's see. You are to receive 500 crowns when the contract is done. We accept. Off we go. We're off back to Cockendorf, the wonderful Cocken of Dorf. Da 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 na 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 na. No 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 no. Da 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 da. Let's see if there's any cultists in Weissenbach. There isn't. Doodaloo doodaloo doo. Well, a valuable lesson learned. And an unfortunate one, I suppose, but that's fine. So when playing as cultists, you really only can have cultists, plus one sacrifice at a time. Can I have Marmite with my cheese? Are you trying to divide this cult? We have fighting strength of 6. That's probably not ideal. Run away. Alvar the Counsellor's waiting for you as you enter the town. He hurriedly takes the cargo off your hands. We've read that before. Hello, any cultists? No. No cultists. Fine then. Mission. We've read that one already, so we'll just proceed. Markov the steward stares out his window, watching a group of men loading cargo into a number of wagons. I think we've read this one before. How many crowns are we talking about? 3 crowns per head, up to 25 heads, and another 190 crowns. We need to be paid more. And that isn't actually any different to what you just said. But fine. Off we go. No, he didn't get sacrificed, but he was very upset that we did sacrifice somebody and decided to leave, along with Peanut. So now, Peanut and Cal the animal, I assume, are off on an adventure somewhere together. Yeah, all the non-cultists get very unhappy when you sacrifice somebody, apparently, Snowy. But we did manage to buy enough drinks to convince Goswin the Derelict to stay with us. So despite the fact that he's watched us sacrifice Raymond the Bright, he is staying, and is therefore probably going to be sacrificed. Hello. While camping beside the road, a colourful wagon trundles on up with a sort of clanking, jingling musical immodesty. You didn't think it a particularly big cart, but about 15 men and women inexplicably pour out of its back. Painted faces, musical instruments, juggling balls, long swords for swallowing, wine jugs for fire breathing. The troupe of entertainers fan out and demonstrate mini talent shows as though you'd already paid for their services. When they finish, they clap, stomp their feet, and freeze before you, hands out, smiles across their faces. A white-faced mime ironically speaks. What say you, travellers? Care for a show? A mere 280 crowns to entertain you all evening. Should we just rob them? Ryan's saying we go with we're good, thanks. No, there's 15 of the bastards. That's a fair point. Reaching Allersdorf, the caravan leader turns to you, a large satchel in hand. Thanks for getting us here, Sellsword. You take it and hand it over to Dietrich the Kinklord for counting. He nods when he's finished. The caravan leader smiles. Also, thanks for not betraying us and, you know, slaughtering us to a man and all that. Mercenaries get thanks in the strangest ways. Hello, do you have any cultists? No. We could possibly do with some more food. Oh no, we've got plenty of food. We're fine. What's this mission? Okay, this is recovering a relic, which we don't have very many people, so I don't want to do. More cheese! No, not more cheese. Goldstein! Ooh, Naxxra's. Nasty way to go. Got any cultists? Nope. Thieves stole something? No. We only have 6 guys. We really need more cultists. Hunting beasts, definitely not. The amount of times that I've ended up wiped out because of hunting beasts. Some proper cheap meat shields. Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about is if we pay for a bunch of cheap meat shields that they're going to piss off as soon as we sacrifice somebody. Nope. They might convert. Well, nobody actually converted. All we had is the ones that we already had, like, gained. Like, all yeah, it was only the cultists that seemed to become more culticized, if that's a word. Good thing we didn't give Peanut the dog. Yeah, that's true, we would have lost the dog. If we're paying them with the expectation to die, what's the harm if they get pissed and leave? I mean, that's a fair point. 6 brigands. Yeah, but they've got poachers and we don't have a lot of shields. So I'd really rather avoid them. Any cultists? Tell you what, we'll hire Grimold because he's really cheap, just in case Goswin ends up not being selected. We need food. What's this mission? Nope. Delivery. Baldwin the Burgermeister's got his feet up on the table when you enter. He puts his hands behind his head, looking a little too relaxed for your tastes. Good tidings, Captain. What say you take leave from all that killing and dying? He raises an eyebrow at your response, which is precisely none at all. Huh, I figured you'd jump on that opportunity. No matter. It was a lie. I need you to take this certain package to Wenzel the Trademaster, a fellow residing in Dolmen. This cargo has undoubtedly garnered some ill-intentioned eyes, which is why I need your men watching it for me. If you're interested, which you should be, let's talk numbers. He puts his hand on your shoulder, smiling reaffirmingly. I think I know an adequate compensation for your services. It's 430 crowns when the contract is done. More? I don't think you quite understand how this works. We need to come to terms if you want to be paid for this. My offer still stands. You are to receive 430 crowns when the contract is done. Fine. We are going to Dolmen. In future, if we sacrifice someone, we should strip the unhappy. Yeah, I guess. Makes sense. Well, I didn't know what was going to happen, Snowy, when I gave him the axe. I've never done a cultist run before, so we're learning things as we go. Finally, you've made it. Wenzel the Trademaster is standing there in the middle of the road, his hands clasped over his stomach, a slick grin on his cheeky face. We've read that one. Cultists? Hello? Hello, cultists? Nope. Damn it. Where are these free cultists it promised me? Alright, we've got about half an hour left of the stream, so I'm going to stop reading these even if they look like we've not read them before, just so we can cram a few more missions in. 70 crowns in advance, 270 when the job is done. More. No. Fine. Let's go. Where are we going? Grunforst. Live and learn. It's the live part we usually struggle with. This is true. We have learned much. We have lived not as much. Is it really quicker to go around the road? It's safer for sure, but it doesn't usually take the safest route. Crowns well deserved. Another delivery to Dolmen, which is where we just came from. More? 370 crowns to go back to where we just came. Yes, fine. Time to make a new K9 unit for tonight. Yeah, nice. You were the one that was rolling around with Jacob, right, Snowy? 370 crowns for a walk, exactly. I thought it was the cat. It was one of the cats as well, but yep, he wants me to make a highway K9 unit just in case. Cool. And we're back at Dulman for 370 more crowns. We need the market to open so we can buy some food, so we're going to camp until the morning when the market opens. Grain is cheapest, then we'll get a bit of bread to keep some variety in there. Any cultists yet? No. God damn it. Nope, not recovering stolen stuff yet. We don't have the manpower for that. Let's head to Kochendorf, see what we can get down there. No, I doubt online would be any better, Ryan. Elsa, which is the K9 unit from last night, I am having her as a sheriff or city K9, and I'll make a separate one for highway. Fair enough. I have separate actual LEO characters for... well, I have multiple in each department, so I get that. Caravan guarded to Grunforst. How much money? 530 with 130 in advance. Alright, fine. Off we go. This is going to be a longer caravan run, going all the way up to Grunforst. The tandem motorcycles looked so fun. That is pretty fun when you ride tandem motorcycles. I don't like really running motor units on my own because I don't think it looks right. While walking about the shops of Dulman, you feel a tug at your sleeve. You turn to find a child there with a face smeared black with two bright white eyes staring out. He asks if you know anything about swords. You gesture towards the one you got sheathed at your side. He claps his hands. Great! I work for a blacksmith yonder, but he's away fetching iron ingots. He told me to keep watch of this special sword he was making, but it fell and broke. Fell on its own and broke on its own. Will you help me put it back together? What do we reckon, guys? Are we going to help this kid or tell him to jog on? Sahara says yes, Mike says yes, Snowy says let's help him, Ryan says let's help him. Just because we're cultists doesn't mean we can't be nice to people. Okay, so, boff. Gebhard is fetched to go help the kid. He helps place the sword's handle and steel together, and the kid works his magic on his own, easily mending the sword back into one piece. You're amazed by his skill and wonder how good the blacksmith himself must be if this is his apprentice. After the work is done, the boy offers to fix some of the weapons for the cult of cheese, which you happily accept, and he apparently repairs 2 wooden sticks. Can you really repair a wooden stick? And if you can, how fucking useful is it that he did? Maybe he'll become a cultist. Well, I'm so glad that we stopped and had our sticks repaired. I'm guessing that that actually works pretty friggin' well, like when it's something other than a wooden stick. But like that is the worst weapon for that to happen to. And it's about the only one that makes absolutely no sense. Well, that's not true. I guess a wooden flail doesn't either because it's completely wooden. But there's an iron chain in the middle, so you know, it is probably the only weapon that makes zip all sense. Hello, Grunforst again. Do you have any cultists? No, you don't. You do, however, have a mission. Caravan to Skjoldwald. How much? 12 crowns per head up to 20 heads and 700 when it's done. Pay us more. No. Okay, we'll do it. I don't know why all of these merchants keep trusting frickin' cultists to protect their trade goods, but maybe he had an abundance of tape. Maybe. It's just sounded like something my 4-year-old would say. We're off up the road to Skjoldwald. Marching on the road to Skjoldwald. Walking on the road to Skjoldwald. Oh shit, now what? While on the march, you find a drunken nobleman tottering side to side on the path. Mussy is the name of his hair. Leaves and grass and what looks like bird shit swept up in it, like someone stirred the ingredients to a prank. But his clothes sweep about with the finest of silks, and his fingers glisten with jewellery. He has a bottle in each hand, and he swings them around as he sings gibberish pub songs. He is, in all regards, the greatest magnet for a mugging you've ever seen. Goswin the derelict purses his lips, and he looks like a wolf staring at a fat sheep. I'm not saying nothing, sir. I'm just seeing it. That's a lot of juice. A lot of juice limping down the road. But again, I ain't saying nothing. You know what he's talking about. And now everybody's like, rob him! It's no longer a child that broke something they shouldn't have been fucking around with. Now it's a noble who's got money, so let's get him. I don't think he has any cheese, leave him be. He might be a nobleman of some importance. Oh, Ryan's there not supporting the robbery. Sahara and Mike both calling to rob him. So far it's 2-1. I kind of love that the person who is like suggesting it is the fucking like future sacrifice, and the one that watched us sacrifice Raymond and was bribed with 2 rounds of ale and is still here. They're saying rob him, and there's 2 of them, so we'll rob him. You walk up to the man and, startled, he reels back with a hiccup. Oi! Who are you? Telling him you're a good friend, you approach to rob him of everything, but as you take another step, his eyes clear and he drops both bottles and suddenly reaches into his coat and pulls out a crossbow. Not another step, you lout! I got men yonder who are watching. I don't want no trouble. We ain't keen on getting squirrely with sellswords. We're here to rob travellers. No good travellers at that, choosing to rob a drunk. Now why don't you just get on down the road and we'll all leave without impasse upon our purposes. The crossbow crickets as its wood shakes in his loose grip. Well, now we're faced with our immortality, or our mortality rather. Ryan's screaming deal. So far, Ryan's the only one saying anything. Mike's going with no deal. He didn't listen to me the first time, and now he's pointing weapons at us with chums over the hill. Fuck's sake. Yeah. Why am I the voice of reason? The fuck is happening here? He's bluffing. Ooh, what do we do? You know what? We are a cult of death. So as much as I don't think he is bluffing, and I think saying no deal is going to put us into a fight. You know, okay, I'm going to tell a little story here before we continue. I had a lone wolf game that I was probably about like day 70, 80, maybe even 90 on. I was doing really well at it. I got sent to do a mission that was like clear out a bandit camp. I went and cleared it out. The fight was really hard. Most of my men ended up injured. But on the way back, I was accosted with an event like this, which was basically a bunch of people saying, "We're bounty hunters, give us the head of the guy that you were sent to get, and we won't kill you." I decided that I was going to say no and fight them for it, and then the event, like, there was 7 of them, and they had amazing weapons and armor. Like, it wasn't even if my guys had been fully healed, it wouldn't have been a fair fight. Like, it was so overpowered. So I actually think because of that, because I'm very worried that we've otherwise done really well and that these guys will be super OP, because I don't think that he's bluffing, we're going to say deal. You nod. Quite alright. I'm assuming all that you got is counterfeit, aye? The man nods. Of course. The finest fitting counterfeit this side of Sandburg, and this is, but enough chin-wagging shenanigans. Appreciate you keeping this square, but we got work to do. Nodding again, you wish him luck in them doings. Something tells me if we'd have fought them, it would have been like fucking 8 dudes with crossbows and armor, and we'd have just got slaughtered. There's only 6 of us, and we don't have very good equipment. Skjoldwald for 700 crowns. Do you have any cultists? No, you don't. Cultists are really hard to find, man. Right. There's a weaponsmith here. What the fuck is that? Yeah, what we really need is better armor, because we're not leveling up, like we're not getting fights where we're gaining armor and stuff as much as we should be. We'll head to Donnersborg just because we've not been there and we don't know what's there. Shiny sword, please. No. Albrecht is a grave robber. Interesting. No cultists there. Armourer. That's what I'm looking for. Right. Currently, Erling is wearing an 88 cultist's leather robe and a 30 hood. There's got to be better than that in here. Leather lamellar armor is actually better, but that's pretty steep. That looks like it's the... Nope, that's the cheapest helm. A male coif? Is it coif, Ryan? My research said that cultists favour a lot of meat shields backed up by strong fanatical zealots. The more meat shields, the more chances of conversions and the less likelihood it will be cultists that's sacrificed. Okay. So we do want to be recruiting shitty peasants then. Alright, well how many shitty peasants have we? I'm only recruiting cheap ones though. He costs actually a small fortune in daily payment. Gunnar is a vagabond. He's probably the right kind of person. We're going to get Gunnar. We'll move him to the back. And you know what? He's here as a sacrifice, so we're just going to take his stuff and make him wear tattered sackcloth like a fucking house elf. Let's head up to Oberwalheim, just because we've not been there yet, and then we'll come back. By the way, hold on. Farmer. No, I'm sure we can get cheaper than that. I think we're going to change tack, guys. What we're going to start doing is we're going to start recruiting the cheaper random peasants, and we're basically recruiting them as either sacrifices or conversions. But if you guys want to, if you don't have somebody, rather than waiting for a cultist, because I don't want to like. So for example, we've got Gunnar here. If nobody sponsors Gunnar when we recruit him, and then he converts and becomes a cultist, I'm not going to let anybody sponsor him once he's become a cultist just because he has. But if people want to sponsor, you know, like, essentially sacrificial lambs and hope that they don't get sacrificed, I'm completely fine with that. I think it's a tad expensive, so we're going to not do that. Let's head back to Andy Sandberg. Just 1 second, guys. Away we go. Come on, is that the fastest we can move? Bear scrub. What's that? A surface iron vein. Interesting. Oh fuck. I don't think we're going to be able to avoid them. We have 6 lads, they have 6 lads. Oh! They didn't want to fight us. Good stuff. I don't think barbarians have particularly good equipment, to be honest. It's not worth turning around and fighting them to try and get it. Generally speaking, I've been operating on the principle of if I'm not being paid to fight people, I'm not going to fight them. Because it's too much of a risk, really. We need to purchase some more food. Let's get some grain. Burke. He's relatively cheap up front and his daily cost is low, so Burke the peddler. In tough times everyone has to scrape by somehow, hence why Burke is a mere peddler. He'll try to sell off a rusty bucket for a helm once worn by kings. This man will sell anything. Marketing himself is what this frail man does best, although few believe his pitch about having great swordsmanship and resolute bravery. Welcome to the cult of cheese, Burke. You won't be needing that wonderful leather tunic. We have this lovely sackcloth for you instead. Burke the Burke, lel. Cultist conversion mechanic triggers every 13 days roughly. Sacrifice is random. Any lowborns without nobility or stupidity traits can be converted. So if they're stupid, they can't be converted. Poacher, deserter, shepherd, brawler, thief, houndmaster, lumberjack, farmhand, grave robber, fisherman, ratcatcher, militia, miller, miner, gravedigger, vagabond, day tailor, refugee, peddler, tailor, beggar, butcher. Those are all the backgrounds that can potentially be converted. Okay. Peddler was in there, wasn't it? Yes. What is the mission here? You enter a sandburg and a man barks out at you. Well shit, if it ain't the coat of cheese and the snake in the grass it calls a leader. You raise an eyebrow and put a hand to your sword. The man laughs. We don't care for you, sellsword, but we do need you. Come on, slither this way so we can talk business. That's what you really care about, right? Goswin the Younger is the man you might want to be seeing. Deliver cargo to Allersdorf. How much money? Holy shit, pay me more? 1,460 crowns. It's going to be a long caravan trip, but fuck it. Let's go. Cultists also don't give a shit about people dying, which further encourages the meat shield style. Okay. Oh no! Oh shit. I've never fought Geists before. Oh bollocks. Can we... if we run though, then the caravan... Well, what do we give a fuck about the caravan? Run away. The battle subsides, but you find the merchant leaning against a tipped-over wagon. Wide-eyed, he desperately clutches a slashed neck. Ropes of blood squirt between his fingers, and before anything can be done, the man collapses. You try to revive him, but it is too late. Glassy eyes look up at you. Goswin the Derelict, one of your men, closes them before getting up to pick through the remains of the caravan. Oh well. Run away. Night, Sahara. Have a good sleep. Thank you for stopping by, appreciate it. We are probably going to do about 10 more minutes, guys, I think. Maybe slightly more, maybe 15. How's our reputation? Not great. Andy Samberg don't like us. Wrong button. We need food. Grain is cheap. Right, who we got in here? A servant for 70 gold and 5 per day. Life is difficult, more so for some than others. Hubert worked feverishly for mad men who looked far too long at the stars. He rarely made a mistake about his place in the world. One day, though, his masters invited him to a party. Believing he was a guest, he showed up in his finest attire, a shirt with hemmed sleeves and a billowy set of pantaloons that hid his skeletal frame well. Unfortunately, he was but a show for the party. They gave him a wooden shield and sword, threw him into an arena with a wild boar, and took bets as they watched the horrific spectacle. He barely escaped the festivities. Hubert has since sworn to never serve someone again. Hi, Hubert. How would you like to serve our Lord and Saviour Davkul? Excellent. Well, I suppose it should have been expected if they offers us that much money. I mean, yeah, but I don't think the undead were after the fucking goods, do you? That was just a chance encounter. No, I'm not after stealing back valuables. What's this? Grunforced, how much? 130. 140. Sure, why not? Oh, hello. You cross into a small hamlet beside the path. It's a rather nondescript place save for the woman tied atop a soon-to-be bonfire. She's surrounded by a band of peasants, as is usual for a woman in this position. A monk from the mob reads from a holy tome, apparently letting everyone know the deontological nature of her crimes. Another man dutifully stands by with a torch, his hands itchy to put it to use. Seeing you, the woman shouts for help. "They're going to burn me! You must do something! I've done no wrong here!" Mike saying free her. I'm always a voice of reason, ask me. Well, yeah, but like I feel like these events are geared towards like non-cultist ones. It's asking what does your strange god make of this because you're a cultist, but everyone in the group is a cultist essentially. So I don't really want to do that option because it's like, oh, okay, you want to see what everybody thinks. Okay. Monterey Jack steps forward and looks the villagers up and down. He shakes his head. You all should kill yourselves. The town monk rustles up his cloak. Excuse me? The cultist starts to cut the woman down. A few of your mercenaries step forward to stop anyone from protesting. When she's free and sent running for her own safety, Monterey Jack speaks again. Kill yourselves, each of you, tonight. You've angered Davkul, and his rage is a debt you'd do best to pay yourself. The monk opens his mouth to say something, but his nose cracks as though indented by an invisible stone. He lurches, blood spewing from his nostrils. Monterey Jack nods. He is angrier than I had thought. Davkul awaits us all, but he is now on your doorstep. Screaming, the monk falls to the ground as his jaw sickeningly cracks open, his mouth left permanently ajar. The villagers scream and disperse like rabbits beneath the shadow of a hawk. Fucking Jesus. Yeah, voice of reason indeed, Ryan. So reasonable. Having an invisible god rip a monk's face apart. We arrive at Grunforst and accept our payment. That's not enough for that. He's very expensive. That's level 3, so it can fuck right off. To Dinklesmark! E-damnation waits them all! She got freed, we did Davkul's will. Win-win. I can't really argue with the logic. And I've noticed that Sandberg is now red. I don't think that they like us. We've failed them too many times. Are there any cultists in here? No. There's Volmar the Vagabond. Let's pick him up. You won't be needing that, and you won't be needing that. We probably need food. So let's pick up some grain. Contracts. Dolman caravan escort for very little money. But let's do it. Off we go. Having finally gathered the coin and equipment, you manage to assemble a full complement of 12 able fighters. Not quite. When next you walk down Dinklesmark's main street, the men break into a full-throated marching song. A few of the townsfolk mutter under their breath about dirty mercenaries taking over the town, but others walk alongside and shout the words with you. Stand tall, brothers! People can see this is a real mercenary company now, and not a handful of wandering vagabonds. This is really not flavoured towards the cultist playthrough. Erling declares, we trade in strength, and now that our numbers have gone up, so will our price. It appears he has the right of it. You notice one particularly fat nobleman sizing up the company as if he already has a task in mind. The cult of cheese are now a force to be reckoned with. Once the men have settled in for a celebratory drink, perhaps you should take another stroll through town to see if any more lucrative contracts may be available. Maybe we needed the renown to draw the cultists, it's possible. It's odd that we haven't had any events for cultists joining. Yeah, we've done 34 days, like, I thought we were supposed to get cultists. Good. No cultists to recruit. Not quite the right price on the amber. Find the lost cottage for 300 crowns. 330 crowns, yes. Probably should have read that one, but we're close to the end of the stream, so... Southeast. You feel good today, ready to lead the cult of cheese through any challenge to come. You gather the men around, kicking Fred to his feet and telling Burke to finish scraping away the hairs on his neck later. When their muttering has subsided, you start to address them. What do you tell the men the company will do? Okay, so... I mean, we'll basically immediately do this one, and we'll get this battle standard as a weapon and a standard in battle, but do we want a standard as cultists? Is that how we want to do this? What do we think? I think Ryan might be the only person still here, but... It's not cheese. What does that mean? What's a standard? Like a big stick with a banner on it. Literally this thing here in the top, the thing that we chose at the start, well, the goat head that I chose. Like, you basically get that for a person to carry in battle, and they can use it as a weapon, but also it inspires, like, increased resolve around it. I'd say take it. It's pretty steep though. Ryan, it doesn't cost 2,000. You need 2,000 for the ambition, and then it takes 1,000 away for the banner, and like it's basically intended to leave you with 1,000. But I think we've got close to 3,000, so we'd still have 2 left. You're supposed to get this ambition before you have 3 grand, I'm guessing. I've never had this much money in this game before. Oh, can do it then? Okay, we'll do that then. Yes, we're looking for the lost cottage to the southeast. I think it's in the woods. There we go. No one likes a skinflint, least of all a group of wandering bloodthirsty rabble motivated primarily by love of coin. Not everyone, or more precisely no one, was thrilled when you suggested cutting back on spending to save up for a company standard. Once the cult of cheese's standard is finally paid for and hoisted for the first time to proudly snap in a fresh dawn breeze, however, no one claims it wasn't worth it. The men are proud of their new standard, even tossing it around names for it around the campfire, though none of them really stick. It's clear for everyone to see now, this is not some band of hired thugs. This is becoming a true mercenary company. Who should have the honour of carrying the standard? So if we go to inventory now, you can see we've got the battle standard, and it can be equipped on somebody. Which maybe we should have one of the The sacrificey chaps bring it into battle. Whoops, not Monterey Jack. Goswin the Derelict. Tell you what, swap with him. Give me my shield back. Oh, you did lose your shield. There you go. I think we'll have Goswin the Derelict bring the banner with him. It may mean that he ends up leveling up a little bit. But, you know, we should be okay. I think it's more likely because I'm not giving him armor or anything. It's more likely he'll end up dead. Just remember to take it off him if we do a sacrifice. Ain't having him fuck off with our banner. Yeah, fair point. To be honest, if and when we get a convert, I'll probably have the convert carry the banner until somebody else converts. Where the fuck is this? Southeast. Near Greenmere. It's gotta be in these trees. Come on. Waving his hand rather friendly-like, a man approaches. You respond by unsheathing your sword halfway. He laughs. So many are interested in the lost cottage, so I can't fault you for being so defensive. Look, I'll tell you exactly where it's at, just close by to the west of here, in the forest. He heads off, cackling with laughter. I don't know if I've done good or ill, and that's just the sort of fun I like. It's in here somewhere, it's got to be. It's probably not that close to the road. There it is. No, it's deceptive, Ryan. When it says Greenmere, like, I've legitimately ended up going, like, way off track before. You take the cardinal direction from the town and it's closer to that. Yeah, we've probably read that before. Any cultists? Nope, still not. Vander the Daytailor. We don't really have any sackcloth for him to wear, if we did recruit him. And I don't want to recruit too many because most of them are going to fuck off when we sacrifice somebody, so maybe we've got enough for them now. We do need food. Wow, food's expensive as shit here. We're probably about on the end of the stream, to be honest. So we'll pause here. Let's take a look at the cult of cheese. So far we have Monterey Jack the Ripper, who's been with the company for 33 days, took part in 2 battles and has 2 kills. We really need to do more battles next time. He's carrying his meat cleaver, his hatchet and his knife, and has his shield. We've got Erling, who's been with the company for 34 days and has took part in 2 battles, has 4 kills using his big 2-handed flail. Mike Hawk, the title mad, our buckler and spearman, with his pet falcon and his dagger. Gebhard with the Skaramis axe. Fred with his flail. Goswin the Derelict, who's the slave in charge of carrying the banner, and in case he gets out of line, Dietrich the Kinklord with his dog and his whip stood right over his right shoulder. So we're not doing terribly. I'm glad. I've had a lot of fun today. I think next time we do this, we need to try and maybe do a few more battles, maybe take a few more risks on fighting some peeps. It might even be worth giving these chaps like some of these wooden sticks and just chucking them into the line, to be honest, and letting them die or not die. But let me see if I can find somewhere for us to go on a raideroo. Yeah, I've probably got somewhere, I think. Alright, I'm going to send you guys over to Reigns Almighty, who is 171 David from SRP and is one of the SRP hooligans. He's also somebody who is usually pretty active in my Total War Let's Plays. So he's currently streaming Final Fantasy, but there's only one person watching him right now. So let's get in there and make some noise, give David some love and support. If you like what you see, if you're not already following him, please do give him a follow. Otherwise, my plan is for me to be back in about 6 hours with SRP, but that means me hopefully going to sleep almost immediately. We'll see. So hopefully I'll see you in 6 hours if you're still around for some SRP. If not, the next time I'll be streaming that's not SRP will be Wednesday. So I'll see you then if you're around for that. But for the time being, it's going to be Wardog out.